Welcome everyone to PFL and Chill for PFL 5. I'm Dan from Oregon here in the 541, and we got our homie, as always, Jay Smooth.
What up?
What is happening, people? And right now, if you're just now tuning in, the Facebook live stream has launched. The link in the description right down below. Or if you're like me, use your Fire TV, type in PFL MMA. That gets you there right away. And click on the link. Bada bing, bada boom. And Jay Smooth, we got 2 hours to cover here, but 3 fights. Are they going to go full circus act for us today? What are we going to get?
You know what? They're probably gonna. Yeah, I think they're gonna go circus act. They're gonna try to fill whatever time that they have to stall to try to get people to watch their next event more likely. In other words, that's gonna be one hell of a bathroom break.
So
It's like a 20. Yeah, it's like a 20-minute piss break right there.
They're going to go full stall mode right here probably. We'll get about 15 or 20 minutes of just talking. Just see what they can get. But shout outs to everyone in the chat. Kenshiro, Steve, Sparks, Steve Johnson. What's up, everybody? And everyone else who was here earlier that I can't quite see on the scroll. So Jay Smooth on the card today. We got Chris Wade on the prelims. We also got, who is that? Dan Spoon and Thiago Tavares. And who was it? Efren Escudero, who was the guy who came in 7 pounds overweight. I had to go and look this up.
Yeah.
He weighed in at 62 pounds the first time. They allowed him to fight. He ended up winning, and so we got no points. It should have just forfeited and gave the other guy 3 points, in my opinion.
I know, right? That's a very unfair advantage to take.
Yeah, and then this time he comes in at 163 point something. So even more, he didn't get closer. He got farther away, closer to the 165, 70 pound weight class. And this time they pulled the fight from him. They said, you're not going to fight. Hopefully they just give the other guy 3 points via forfeit. I mean, when you're rolling with the team format, it's kind of what you think that would be best, at least in my opinion.
Absolutely, that's a very unfair advantage to try to take. That person shouldn't even be allowed to fight anymore. Even though it sounds harsh, but still, that's like you try to take an advantage, a very obvious advantage.
Sure.
Like it's not like he lost 1 or 2. It's 7 pounds over. That means you tried to cheat.
Yes.
He just probably said fuck it after a while.
Yeah, and the last guy, he accepted the fight when he was 6 pounds over. And then what happened? He lost. Fucking cheating.
Shit.
Michael Anzalone.
Oh, okay. Now I have the stream. I was like, where the fuck is it?
I'm getting Jason High versus Nathan Schulte. They just are rocking a promo on the screen right now. Our main event of the evening, a lightweight contest, 3 5-minute rounds as always. And Jason High is the man who came in on short notice. Not sure what had happened.
Yeah.
If he had a different opponent and they swapped it out, or what?
No, Foster got hurt. Brian Foster got hurt.
That's right.
Yeah. You know, the downside to having, I guess, like a season-long tournament is, of course, injuries. And, you know, you got to replace people and shit.
Yup.
So he takes a bit of a hit not being able to take this fight.
Yes. This stream, as always, brought to you by Facebook Live. Brought to you by Buddies, the unofficial sponsor of the stream tonight.
Hook us the fuck up.
Jay, you got any sponsors you need to shout out?
No, you pretty much covered all of them. I was going to think of a weed one, but that's a good one, actually. Buddies is a good one.
I mean, when you're online and you're streaming online, you got like two routes you can go. Actually 3, I think now. The game's kind of changed a little bit. You can get a weed sponsor. You can get a VPN sponsor, especially for the streamers. And then the newest one is going the route of Chael Sonnen on his podcast, Rory McDonald and Ben Swan, you can get a crypto cash sponsor. So Dash Digital Cash is one of them that's out there.
Crypto. They would have to give me the money up front in order for me to do that.
You're not gonna take any shares, Jay?
I tell you what, I keep a close eye on it, but I don't feel confident enough to jump in on a stock for it yet. But I'm thinking about it. Even though I need to it's weird. It's a very weird thing to invest in.
Oh yeah.
Because it's either really good or it's really fucked up. And I'm not at a point where I'm ready to trust it fully. So they gave us a sponsorship. I would ask for money for us up front, just in case some weird shit happened.
Oh shit. Dana White is already drooling at some of the PFL ring girls. So here's a great question, Jay Smoothe from Kenshiro in the chat. What do you guys think of DJ going to 1FC? So now it's coming in all rough. But
gotcha.
my thing says poor network connection. Oh shit, let's shut this down. I had the YouTube open, so this might help. OBS reconnection successful. Guys, did we go down there for a minute? I like when everything breaks. Yeah, and there, you're back online.
Good shit.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Good, we didn't crash.
You know what? My CC cleaner's open, and I just heard that those sickles are up to no good.
I mean, we didn't pull an Amelia Earhart. We're still in the air. We're still high in the air.
Yes. It is okay now, Mike Lanslow. Fantastic.
All right, good stuff. Now, what was the question again? Sorry.
DJ having the possibility. He was on the media scrum, and he said, what kind of super fights do you want? Essentially, he doesn't mention TJ. Yeah. He turns down all the things about TJ, but he does talk about getting multiple belts on his mantle. Different looking ones, not just the same UFC one. And he mentions one, Risen, and Bellator. What do you think of that?
Why not? I mean, you know what? He was so dominant in the UFC as a 120, as a flyweight, that if you want to prove you're truly the best flyweight in the world, you're going to have to go around the world and fight the best and fight whatever flyweights are available. Because clearly the UFC can't find him, so he might as well go find his own competition himself. And he may have to look outside the company. So I'm all for it.
Me as well, dude. And you know why? Opposed to Conor McGregor, I love DJ's chances. I love his chances everywhere he goes. I think he's got an excellent chance to win. He'll probably be like a minus 300 favorite over just about everybody that he fights, if not even crazier when it comes to the guys in one in Bellator. I think it'd be a good move. I think the UFC should maybe do something where, like, yeah, you can go do all that and then come back here. Why not, brother?
Why not? I mean, clearly nobody in the UFC can give him any sort of competition except for Tim Elliott, who I guess gave him his hardest fight, like at least the hardest one that I could think of. Other than that, there's no competition for him, so you might as well start fighting people outside the company just because, you know, if you say you're the best flyweight in the world, then go across the world and fight people. Fuck it. Might as well.
So he cost about $350,000-$400,000. I think one can probably pay that one time. I don't know if they can make that investment over and over and over again, because, you know, they just brought in Henzo. Henzo's a crazy legend, but you bring in the number one pound for pound guy, and it's on a fucking app that's live and free around the world. I think that does pretty good. And then after that, Matt Hume, who pretty much runs shit over there, would totally be like, all right, dude, you proved it. Let's send you off to Risen now. And he'll be like, this guy's now representing not just the UFC, but one championship as well. And so it'll be Risen versus one championship. Boom. And Risen's plan on going to Japan in 2019. I think that would be awesome. I don't know.
You know what? Honestly, anything is better than what he's doing right now. That's actually a good way to market himself because clearly the UFC doesn't give a shit about marketing him at all.
Oh, 100%. Just Jack Slack talks about this all the time. How they just don't even care about the division. Everything that's a contender is out on Fight Pass. so,
Right.
so no one fucking cares who faces him because you don't make us care. It's crazy. I think DJ would do it for 300K to assassinate ONE FC flyweight champion. Easy. Yeah, he'd actually probably do that. But that's because he can get all types of outside sponsors. Dude, fucking ONE FC has mainstream sponsors over there in Asia. You bring Xbox over there. How big is Xbox over there, do you think? You think they're all rocking PlayStations?
I don't think so. I doubt it.
It's probably just a split. Anyways, I'm getting off track here. Good
He
topic.
probably.
But you know what? I think I've heard people talk about this. Maybe it was DJ or his coaches or something, and they were saying how, dude, that 10 pounds that you put on to take on those other guys, the potential for damage, and if you're really thinking about it, like GSP style, mentality and everything, and I guess Connor nowadays too, man. The damage that you take, that should be worth some fucking money. And so going and facing other 125ers is the risk is way less. You might say the risk going up to 135 is like 130% more risk, 130% more damage, all around for what Dana White isn't even going to make a fantastic payday for you. So I can't blame the guy, man. Everyone wants to say he's running scared. I don't look at it that way.
I mean, you know what? Honestly, you can't like he. There literally is no other person for him to really fight because if you think about it, he's fighting Cejudo again because they literally can't find flyweights and other companies to fight the guy. So I guess the next best thing for him to do is to fight somebody that's a bantamweight, and either he go up or they move down a weight. But either way, he needs some type of competition because right now he's just running over everybody. There's been no other UFC flyweight champion other than him, and and it's been a long time since WEC merged with the UFC.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
been a long time since all those champions moved over, and if you think about it, when DJ became the inaugural flyweight champion, no one's beaten him. It's literally just been him.
Dude,
So, like, you got to find competition somewhere.
I actually think that you can get the UFC to maybe buy into this. Be like, all right, guys, build up that division while I'm gone. I'm gonna be gone for like 2 years. You can make a champion, and I'll come out and I'll take him out, or he'll take me out when I return because I might get a little bit old. Who knows? I think they'd be all down for this. But if he leaves, maybe they just scrap the whole division. That's the scenario that I wouldn't like to see happen. Yo, Steve Sparks in the chat. The link's in the description below. Get your ass on there. There's about 1,000 of us watching. This first fight's about ready to get started. Who we got? Arthur someone versus Thiago Tavares?
I believe so.
Are you looking at the Brazilian right now, Jay?
Yeah, I had to refresh my stream because mine is pausing here and there. So I had
Okay.
to.
This is
Yeah.
actually
Oh wait, hold on. Let me.
the most technical difficulties that PFL's had so far. It's been
Yeah,
flawless.
how about that? Right. It's been fine every time we've done it, but this is the first time they started fucking up.
It happens. Even the best ACB would have difficulties on Facebook.
They moved it to YouTube though, which is actually
Oh,
smart on their.
they just jumped over the 1K mark watching. Keith Peterson up in the cage. I think he was on that Mario Yamasaki train at least one fight last time we watched.
Might have been.
He had taken the seminar. He went to the class, the live feed for English or Spanish. Is the red dots. Uh, Dude, just look. On mine, it had a little writing with it, and the Spanish one was written in Spanish. So don't click on that one when you're searching for it.
Oh shit.
The PFL Facebook live feed is good, guys. About to fight in cage right now. Round 1 started. 4 minutes, 36 seconds, 35, 32, 31, 30. How far away are you, Jay?
Oh, 1.1K watching. Okay, I'm good now.
Boom.
I'm all
Oh,
set.
4-man booth again. Todd Harris, Randy Couture, Boss Rutan, and Eve Edwards.
Damn. Hopefully they don't run over each other.
Eve has been kind of picking in his shots, and I think Todd might be throwing to guys more. But I like Eve in the role like he was doing in the beginning. He was being the hype man, talking to the chick. And then when he comes in and does his technical circling on the screen and explaining what exactly is going on to the casual, I think he's great at that.
Absolutely. I do agree with that to some degree.
Because the PFL's treating it like they're a brand new organization and they're getting all these new fans, you know? The UFC kind of used to teach you. Everyone's good. Fantastic. All right, Jay, are you going red trunks or black trunks? The Brazilian in the red or the Brazilian in the black?
I'll probably go the Brazilian and the black. Fuck it. I don't know who either of these guys are, but I'll go with the guy in the black. Just because.
Mm. Shit. Oh, I'll take the guy in the red. Just cuz.
Good shit.
The views are trickling in. 1.3K.
How about that? And they put it on Facebook of all places. If they put it on YouTube, they probably get like way more.
I know. What's up with that? They're working some deal or something. They need to get on just all the platforms.
They might as well. Really, if you think about it, since they're like trying to rebrand, they might as well just go with a new marketing strategy. Just take over all platforms possible.
Oh, fuck, it keeps saying live video ended. Alright, hold on.
Yeah, see, that just happened to mine too. I was just like, what the fuck are they doing?
Really? Mine's been running pretty good.
Mine was running good for like a minute, and then it just like cut out.
So my worry is it cuts out, and then they start a new one, so my link in there's dead, and so it keeps sending you to something that's just gonna keep breaking over and over and over again.
I'm looking for like new links, but they haven't.
Just click on the Spanish stream and fucking mute it. I can hear Boss on mine though.
Let me see if the Spanish stream works here.
How's that look? Not bad. Alright. Okay, Jay Smooth. We got a bunch of ground action going on right now. So I want to talk about an upcoming fight later on tonight.
Alright, what's up?
The co-main event, Vinny Magalesh versus Brandon Halsey. Brandon Halsey, I thought was in fight of the night the last time he fought. It was fight of the night performance. He got done in 2 rounds, and he crushed the other guy. I think what it was, doctor stoppage or something. Won't let him continue. In Vinny Magalesh, the legend Vinny Magalesh. Man, I should have got some Hanato videos. Or maybe we should try pulling some up. When we get our dead time, remind me, and we'll try and get some videos.
All right, good stuff. I will. But I was just about to say, I admit I've seen Vinny take some L's. I haven't seen him fight too many times, but him being a bum may not be inaccurate. That might be real.
I think Brandon's supposed to be like a good wrestler too, right? So how's Vinny gonna get him down? How's that gonna happen? And last time he freaking tore that dude up. So I think that might be that's my Dan from Oregon's People's Main Event right there for you. Benny Magalesh, Brand Halsley. That's going to be some good shit.
That one's on the main card, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Fuck Vinny, says Steve Sparks.
Fuck Vinny.
Uh-oh, we got a bunch of commission members in there. Checking that guy out. That's my man. Uh-oh.
Oh, damn.
Here's your guy.
Oh,
He's looking
shit.
good. Uh-oh, the ref cam. That makes you a little nauseous sometimes.
Oh, man.
Then you get the stabilizer thing on that. The stabilizing function.
All right. Oh, shit.
1.4K. Tuning in. Facebooking live. Oh, what just happened? Oh, wait, hold on. There's water. I need to wipe my toes. What the hell? All right, round 2's underway. 4 minutes, 45 seconds. 41.
Don't worry,
40,
people. You haven't missed
39,
much. This fight
38.
is. Oh, yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, this fight hasn't been much so far.
Does anyone know if I can go live on a PS4 without a camera or microphone? I would literally type that into YouTube. And there's probably someone.
I think you can. I'm not sure though. I believe you can.
Without a camera or microphone.
Oh shit.
I don't understand how you would communicate with just a controller.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I
just thought about that.
I don't see any upside over what you're doing right now. What you're doing right now seems way better. You can at least type people pretty fast. Anyhow. Did I mention I was really high? Oh, wait. That was Michael Lanzalone with the question. Post an update. Yo, Michael Lanzalone, you got a little downtime? And you want to rile some folks over from the TheMMAHoles chat room for the live stream that hasn't started yet? Go for it. What time is it over at Brother Frank's time? Oh, it's 12 o'clock.
Oh, shit. Like midnight or 12
Yeah,
minutes?
midnight over there. And that was at 4, so now it's midnight 30. Alright, so, what's going on here? Your dude's got my guy's back with the body lock.
Yeah, I'm not seeing too much here.
He turns in, he recovers half guard.
Oh.
Thiago Tavares came in here with way more experience, about almost double the fights. Was ranked on the worldwide scene when this other guy was just ranked in the U.S. West.
Coming
in from the regionals.
They're really going deep to find these guys, huh?
Well, man, think about it. When ACB was around, people were getting picked up like crazy. MMA's hot. Remember when Cage Warriors shut down there for a little bit?
I was about to say, is ACB going to be back in business soon?
Yes, but not anything like what it was.
Oh boy, they have to downgrade a little bit, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, man, they went crazy international so quick, and providing every single bit of it for free. That's just, you're just laundering money at that point in time, Jay. I don't even know if you're laundering it. Taking losses on the books? I don't even know.
In that country, they probably just print money and shit. And they said, you know what, we can't print money anymore, so let's just chill for a while. They probably had a license to print money.
Dude, it was crazy. You look at the amount of countries and cities that they had went to in such a short amount of time. Dude, they started. Hold on, I got some of this written down. If I didn't get rid of it. Yo, Jay, what are you doing tomorrow?
I have quite a bit to do tomorrow, actually. Wow, what's up?
Goddamn. That press conference, bro. Who knows what's gonna happen?
Oh, that's right. Shit. Wait, what time is it at?
I heard 4:30 Eastern time, right before the weigh-ins.
Oh shit. Yeah,
What
I don't
up?
know what I'm. Oh shit, I might not even be here by then.
What's up, J4? Yo,
Oh,
so
what's going on, Jess?
I was crunching the numbers, and M1 Global had been around since what, like 97 or some shit. Fight Nights
Yeah.
Global popped in 2010. Bama popped in like 2009. KSW came around a little bit before that. ACB didn't come in until 2014, and they were projected to pass. They were going bonkers, man. 13 events year 1, 20 events year 2, 26 events year 3, 7 events year 4 before they ended up collapsing in 2018.
7 events. Damn, that's a big drop off.
Or 37 in 2017,
Damn.
and I don't know how many so far. But they're only going to
So
have
what's Ace?
one more or two more this year.
Damn. So ACB will only have basically 2 more events this year. Probably next year have like what, 7 or 8?
They're restructuring, and they pretty much said, kiss some of that international shit goodbye. We're going to have to contract a little bit and think a little bit different about expanding so far. Something like that.
Oh shit.
But I believe that's like one of the Chechen promotions, right? Like that's where they kind of started, was Grozny. I think that's over in the Chechen area.
It is.
Oh,
Wow, so
shit.
that's actually not bad.
What round is it in round number 3?
Oh fuck, I wasn't even paying attention. This fight has been uneventful.
Or I mean, what minute count are we at?
Shit, I gotta refresh mine. Where are you at?
I can only see the seconds. I'm at 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1.
1.
I don't know if that was the 4th minute or the 3rd or what though. That fucking live symbol's right there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's not just me. All right. That's why I was like, what?
Anyways, no clock this round, ladies and gentlemen. Who cares?
Yeah, this fight is shit, and their production is shit.
Oh, Magomedov won by default, says Kenshiro. Is that how they ruled it? They did give him the
really
victory.
So how many points does he get then? If that's a forfeit. I guess is that like
3.
a full? Yeah, I was about to say it's gotta be like 3, isn't it? At least 3. Let's see.
Yeah, I would say they'll give him 3. Foster
Yeah, his opponent missed. Yeah, his opponent missed by like what, 7 pounds, right?
Yeah, he came in at 163 point something.
Damn. God damn. He didn't even try.
No.
Damn.
But he was only a little bit, like 1.5 pounds heavier than he was last time. So you think they would have saw it coming a little bit.
You would think so. But damn, that's some crazy shit.
Bolstering a 30-13 record. I don't know if I would recommend doing that with the promoter. Oh yeah, they don't give you details.
So if the guy wins by default, that means the guy that missed weight, he basically ran away. He found a way out of a fight.
Got the right matchup, man.
He's like, fuck facing that guy.
You gotta work hard on getting the right matchups sometimes. Dude in the red's coming back, throws a flying knee.
Oh, shit.
Your man was in on a takedown. He's got a hold of a leg. He's eating shots. Not much defense here.
Oh.
Right after right after right. Oh, he rolls. So he starts throwing lefts. He's got the underhook. Oh, my man's slicing through the guard. He could get to mount here or just side control. Looks like he's going to hop into side. He's getting better position.
Oh, this is bad.
He's got a solid half. He's dropped some shots to the body here. Oh, he's trying to get away. Boom. Arthur calls for him to get up. Yes. This could get interesting. Let's do it on the feet. He says, oh, nice right. Tavares shoots again.
Surprise.
Pulls guard.
Nice.
Body shot. Body shot. Look, he pulls guard. Now he's like almost in a full crucifix. What city is PFL in? Long Island, New York. And
they're in New York.
Coliseum called there? The Nassau or something?
Nassau Coliseum. That's what it is. Nassau Coliseum.
Yes. Yeah, I think they did two events in a row here, and then they're going to do two events in a row in somewhere else.
Yeah, you are right about that. I think they're doing this where they have like the hockey games and shit out. I have no idea though.
Welcome to the stream. I think the link's in the description down below. It was working. Isaiah, Van.
What's up, Isaiah? What's up, Van?
That's the fight right there.
It's a wrap. Who do you think won?
Oh, I wasn't even paying attention.
I know, right?
I'm pretty sure Tavares won some of them rounds. Efren looked like he was kind of strong there at the end.
Yeah, I agree, but like you said before, I didn't pay attention to most of that, and half of that was me refreshing my stream, so I didn't really see most of it.
Jay's over here refreshing, chilling.
It's weird. My stream was good, like toward that end of the fight, but like for 2 rounds there, it was just like, what the fuck?
Oh man, the Fire TV treats me good. I don't got the little stick. I got the big old box. One of the original ones. They came out with new ones now. But
I know what you're talking. Oh, okay. It's weird. I haven't upgraded mine. I used to have the actual Fire Stick though. I gotta upgrade my shit.
And the views are jumping in and out. There was like 2 point something K there for a second. Now it's down to 1.8. What's going on, Danny J? Shit, smoking a little, chilling out on a Thursday night.
No doubt.
Picture Thirsty Thursday, but with some smokers and MMA, if that was their vices. Dude, we might have to start calling the PFL and Chill Thirsty Thursday. I think that would get some clicks.
We should, man. And you know what? I'll actually get like a 40 or something. We should definitely drink on Thursday.
Okay, so we got a few more PFL and chills to go throughout the playoffs. We'll get it going. We need to get a board or an actual game going.
Oh yeah, we do.
Because every time.
Well, technically, yeah. Well, technically, my feed doesn't jump out anymore like it used to, so we have to come up with a new one.
Yep, we do. It's been a lot better. Once you abandon Hangouts and go to Skype. I was watching some streamers that are a lot bigger than mine is, and they use Skype. So I think that's the way to go.
I believe so, because we haven't had issues with this so far.
Steve Johnson, get high, do laundry, and watch MMA.
Damn right. I still gotta wash all my shit. All my gym clothes are, like, disgusting. I still gotta wash all my gear. Oh,
you should do a Thursday night MMA news and discussion chill out.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. We should definitely do that. Like, just a random, like, Thursday night segment or something.
We could try marketing it more like that, because I think the last PFL we did like 30 minutes of just BSing at the end. And this time
That's
we're going to do
true.
the same thing.
By the
Anyhow,
way, speaking of which, we never did talk about Kobe Covington, did we?
no, not yet. Vinny Magalesh is in first with 6 points. Maximum Grisham with 6. Sean O'Connell with 5. Brant Halsey 4. Raheem Cleveland with 4. Dan Spoon with 4. Just so everyone knows. Full-time MMA, what's happening? Welcome to the stream. So, Jay Smooth,
So full
Colby
time.
Covington, what are you thinking, man?
I tell you what, it's crazy that he followed through on his word, even despite all the crazy stuff that's been happening with his belt. Even though, if you think about it, like Till versus Woodley is a glorified #1 contender fight. It's weird to say that though, because the winner essentially fights Kobe Covington. Kobe Covington gets to chill and still call himself champion, even though at this point he's going to be stripped once the Till versus Woodley fight starts. But it's weird because the winner of that fight fights Covington. It's backwards.
I've been really thinking about this, Jay, and in court or some shit, the UFC has said that the UFC titles don't mean anything. They're just a trophy for them to give away on that night. And you're kind
Right.
of seeing this. I don't like what the interim titles are doing, though, with their really destroying the value, kind of the belt. That's how a lot of people are talking about
Right.
it, at least. I got a way around it, though, dude. Let's not call him the interim champ. Call him what he rightfully is. He's the 2018 champ. Woodley's the 2017 champ, and they fucked up big time. We had a super fight with the 2017 and 2018 champ, and they messed it up. All of a sudden, the 2017 champ's got to fight the #1 contender to get a shot at Colby. Like, from the optics on the outside, that's kind of what it looks like. Like, who's the real champion in this division? I don't know. Because look at,
It does
dude.
come off.
What
It
if you're...
actually does come off as a shitty situation because you're actually right.
Mhm.
It comes off as a bad situation because Kobe literally gets to sit back and watch Till and Woodley try to destroy each other just for the chance to fight him. He can
Yeah.
definitely right, like they're chasing him right now. So you are right about that.
I blame Amanda Nunes. She ruined everything. She didn't take the Cyborg fight. I swear to God, man. She didn't take the Cyborg fight. All of a sudden, we got to stroll in a not even close to ready Darren Till. Not even close to ready to handle the wrestling of Tyron Woodley. He's got to go in there and lose his O. You look what you did to John Jones. John Jones was on accident. We lost the O, and that was huge because we could be rolling around with our Floyd Mayweather of the sport. We never had one of those. That's what you guys love about these guys. That's why you hype them up so much. And now you're throwing them out fucking Woodley for nothing because fucking Nunes. I blame Nunes, man, and too many pay-per-views. So the promotion takes a little bit of it too. All right, let's get ready. Next fight's about ready to get started. Dan Spoon versus somebody.
Two cans. I've never heard of these two, but it should be a good fight. Nonetheless.
You guys hitting the Tiger Life? Isaiah's laughing at Colby. Master trolling over there by Colby. Masterful. And the UFC and Dana got in on it too. The way that they released that first picture and waiting for Colby's. I thought that was
I
great.
tell you, I tell you what, man. Kobe certainly knows how to push buttons, and so does Dana White. Apparently, Dana White kind of makes an art of doing it. He does everything you could think of. He's a liar. he sleeps with every ring girl that he's hired. Like he does shit on purpose and doesn't apologize for any of it. And Colby Covington, being the opportunist that he is, he decides to release that picture a little bit after garnering some sympathy for himself. So he played that right.
Hmm. I like your alleged stories, Jay Smooth. I like them. Didn't have to throw Till to Woodley this early. It's a little confusing. Yeah, it
It
got messed
is.
up,
It
man.
is, man.
DJ was
The
out for a
whole
long
order of
ass
things is
time.
fucked up.
T Wood was holding up the welterweight division like crazy. DJ really has been out for a long time. He hasn't fought since 2017, and he's coming back in freaking August. So that kind of sucked. And you know that eats up other cards along the way. And then you got the women's bantamweight division and the featherweight getting held up. That's not hurting anyone. That's not helping anybody. How come they didn't just feed Cyborg a can again?
They could have. It's not like they couldn't find anybody. They could have fed her. Actually, full time said they could have fed her like that Cindy girl. They could have fed her Sorensen or Gomez. They really could have fed her at least somebody that she could have beat up on. But a fight is a fight, man. At least keep her active.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Her last pay-per-view didn't do bad. I think it had Habib on it though. That's why there's some discussion there to be made. Who's really the draw? Was it Cyborg or was it Habib? Because it was a decent drawn card compared to what we've seen.
Hmm.
Dude, I think
I mean, actually, that's.
people
Oh, go
are out
ahead.
there and they're just like Habib ain't worth 10 million. The Ali Abdelaziz is crazy. He's not worth 10 million. And I come back at him, and they're like, Habib's not a draw. I'm like, what have you been watching, dude? Have you seen any of the shit that he does there in Russia, where they're just fucking, it's madness, and in New York City as well?
They love him. It's crazy how much they love him over there. You could be a politician if you want to. They love the guy so much.
Like a Manny Pacquiao of the country.
Could very
Oh
well be.
shit! Big left hand lands.
Oh man, wow! I was watching the fight.
Ali Bulatov got a little rocked there. We got distracted discussing topics.
It's all good. Yeah, we haven't missed much. It looks like.
Agreed. Full time could have booked Cyborg to fight. If you get real desperate, book an interim 145 fight until Max is healthy. I think that's coming up very soon.
Yeah, I think so.
That could
Max is probably
headline
not gonna.
in New York, though.
Oh, go ahead.
Because think about it, Jay. 228 is already booked. That's Woodley and Till.
Right, right.
229, let's just say best case scenario is Connor and Habib. So there's no other title fights on that one.
Hmm.
Next card is November in New York, and that needs to be something massive. I think I heard on the MMA Beat or somewhere, someone's like, "What are you gonna do? Anderson Silva versus GSP?" And I was thinking, okay,
Uh,
if DC's not ready to come back, what the hell else is there? GSP would
Anderson
be the best way to go. And who to face
Anderson
GSP?
Silva versus Anderson Silva versus GSP is like, yeah, it's so late.
Mm-hmm.
It's so late in the game to have that fight. Um, let's see.
Could you go? Could you
Who do you
go?
have? Let's see who.
And Nate probably ain't taking that fight. He doesn't want to get wrestle fucked. And GSP doesn't like his stock. His stock's down because he's coming off a loss, as GSP might say. What about Colby Covington? Just met with the president. He's got crazy amounts of likes. His stock's a little high right now. GSP would most likely not take a beating in that fight. Would GSP ever consider that, Jay? Or am I fucking crazy?
I think ESPN going to consider whatever fight will bring them the most money, and if that one doesn't bring them the most money by chance, but as far as it actually happening, I don't know. But hey, anything is possible, though. Anything is possible.
Okay, let's say you're matchmaker of the UFC. You're making the main event of New York. What are you gonna do?
Uh, I mean, main event in New York. I'm putting Conor and Khabib there just because of the history. Like, considering the fact that the whole hand truck going through the bus thing happened in New York. Why not let them settle it in New York? You can easily not just fill the house. It'll be like one of the best pay-per-views of the year. But that's just me.
Word on the street is the taxes. We know the taxes are way lower in Vegas. I think they're going there.
Right.
Everyone wants to make the money.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
UFC doesn't
I mean,
want
they're
to pay
definitely
more.
going to go
They
to
want to
Vegas.
make more too. What else? Connor's manager, I think Front Row Brian posted this. Not his manager, his lawyer posted a screenshot of him booking a ticket to Vegas on like October 6th or some shit. He was gonna have a flight there, and he posted it on Instagram and had to delete it. He said like "Let's go" or something on the tweet or the Instagram post, and MMA Dagestan, who's been right more than they've been wrong, has been saying for a long time, Conor versus Habib's happening in Vegas 228.
Yeah. I mean, where would you put it? Personally, I'd do 230, but they're probably going to put it in Vegas, more likely, because if you think about it, 229 doesn't have anything. And
Yeah,
230, they don't even have a main event set, technically, but you never know.
yeah, I say the fuck it, let's rush it, let's get them back. The UFC needs an injection, an adrenaline injection into everything. Van Shipman, GSP versus Nick Diaz, too. Fuck.
uh,
I don't see
so,
Nick's partying training habits helping him stop the takedown. So I don't know if I really want to watch that again.
well, I mean, he did slam a woman and break her hip, so that does count for something, right? gotta work in that judo somehow.
I guess so. Silver's GSP is the Mayweather versus Pacquiao fight. It
Right.
came at the
It's the
wrong time
fight.
when we didn't want it.
Exactly.
And they
That's the
charged
best
us
way to
$100
push it.
bucks.
Like overcharges for it, and the fight itself is going to be terrible.
That it's so stupid. I feel like the UFC would probably do something like that.
Probably.
Vegas is too early, says Ken. I don't know about that. That's the beginning of the football season. They can roll it big for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. If they really wanted to get people excited, they would get a prime time going and air it on ESPN. Conor McGregor's return fight, Jay Smooth. What do you think? Could ESPN even license something like that? A promotion video before it, even though they're not gonna make any money on it, really.
I mean, it would be smart to do it, but they probably won't. More likely.
I wish someone would do a
It
fucking
might, it
prime
might, it
time
might
again.
seem, it might seem too early for them. They might think it's too early for all that, but I do see where you're coming from
Oh
in
shit!
terms of the.
Someone in the chat dropped something big. Isaiah Moore, Diaz versus Perry, and the as you say that, I think the winner of Cowboy versus Perry making a case to call out Diaz, not calling out the champ because that shit's so tied up and bullshit, but calling out Diaz. I think that would be an amazing move.
Why not? I mean, if the Diaz brothers are serious about coming back, at least one of them, or if not both, then yeah, why not? If anything, we all win from that. But hey, it would be a nice fight for Diaz to come back on At least in
Yeah.
terms of proving that he still has something.
You already beat Cowboy, and you might consider him a little bit over the hill, so that's a good fight for you there. Even though you're giving a guy a
Yeah,
rematch, Cowboy's got a nice Q score, as people would say, or whatever. And then Mike Perry, who's super hyped up by the company and is definitely lacking skills at this point. He is in a good camp, and he's getting more skilled, but now would be a great time to pick him off before he really gets fucking, many years of training under his belt. But could that get
yeah,
Diaz
and
off the couch? I don't know. I think both those guys got really big names, really, when you think about it.
yeah, that's the thing though. Like Diaz is probably not going to come off the couch for Mike Perry, but it would be nice if he did. And plus, the only good thing about Perry is that his girlfriend no longer coaches him. That was about the dumbest thing he could have ever done to himself in his career.
She's a professional tennis player, Jay Smooth. Give the girl some respect.
Hey, she's the one that asked him for kickboxing lessons. If he had to teach her how to kickbox, she shouldn't be instructing him on how to fight.
Good point. Good point. I think they want Connor versus Habib in Vegas for December.
I mean, yeah, they do want it in Vegas. I just think it would make more sense to put it in New York, but they're gonna go for Vegas though.
Spoon coming out with a powerful low leg kick. Oh, tick kick!
Oh,
I don't think he's going to be able to get the
damn!
win with that.
More cheating. Who is that? I just looked up and I see a guy just kick him right in the dick.
Spoon got kicked right in the dick by Otur Alibulatov. Alibulatov. That would be a great fight, Isaiah. Isaiah, man, I'm all on board. So last time, Isaiah, I don't know if you were paying attention, but I was clamoring for the winner. If Perry can get past Felder, that he should take on Cowboy. And that ended up being what happened. So I couldn't be happier at this point in time. If we could get the winner of Perry and Cowboy takes on Diaz, let's start the hype train, man. Let's get it going. Call up all the radio shows. Man, it pisses me off that people in MMA and on the radio, they only want to talk about just the number one freaking fight. They don't show anything else love, and then no one else gets bigger in the landscape, I feel like.
Well,
Jason,
that's
your
because they're
thoughts?
casuals. Well, that's because they're casuals. Straight up, man. It's just because they're casuals. They only care about all the relevant fighters, and they don't give a shit about who's up and coming. And they don't even give a shit about any sort of like, you know how M1 Global is now a partner. Like, now that they're partners with the UFC, it should make M1 more interesting, but nobody gives a shit about it. And it's just interesting that nobody cares, or at least none of the top journalists don't care.
Man, I kid you not. A few months back, I name dropped Alexei Konchenko from M1 Global, who's fighting on the Moscow card. I name dropped him on MMA Junkie Radio. Steve Sparks, if you're in the chat and you heard that, validate what I'm saying here. Because I was like, man, there's crazy welterweights out there in the world that got great records, and we should bring them in. Kind of like how Khabib came in, and maybe he's the best in the world. And we're finding out that, man, it's actually turns out he is. But a lot of these Russians we're figuring out have padded records, which is crazy, but at least we're figuring it out. And this Alexei Konchenko guy, his record's insane. He's like 18-0. Yo, Holes, what up, Flat Earth and Gay Agent? So, Jay Smooth,
So, Flatter,
so are you excited for all these crazy Russians? And do you think they're all cans, or do you think we're good? I don't know. They're feeding him a Thiago Alves, Alexei Konchenko. Undefeated guy is getting an old guy with a great name, though, trying to give him a nice victory. What are you thinking for the UFC
well,
Moscow?
well, the first thing I'm wondering is how many of them are going to pass a drug test. Um, because we all know how the Russians have that whole doping program set up there. So that would be my first question. My second question is, What exactly do they plan to do with most of them? Because let's face, like as far as Russian fighters go, you're gonna get ones that are either really skilled or they're gonna be punching bags. Uh, I think they should all be weeded out early so we can find out who's actually good and who isn't. And drug testing definitely needs to come into play because we can't trust that the majority of them are clean. When you can look at more than half of that roster from L1 Global and you can tell that there's definitely some stuff being passed around that shouldn't be getting passed around.
We just got to put the right Icarus agents back into effect into USADA's hands so we can get these Russians all passed. Great point. Fucking drug testing, man. I don't know. Maybe they got that new age synthetic that the USA just doesn't know about yet. Russia's kind of ahead of the time. Titles might
Yeah, they
shift
are.
in the future. As far as it Kings and Banks, but Alexei Konchenko might have a chance. We'll see. We'll see. Holy shit! It became official though. Misha, or who's that? Nikita Krylov is back in the UFC from FNG. He was their 205 champ, I think. He's coming back taking on Jan
Yeah,
Blachowicz.
I remember that. The fact that he was fired was stupid because he was fired after a win. I believe he had knocked someone out, and then they fired him for I forgot what the reason was.
He
And then he
went
became
out and made more
champion over
money.
there.
He shopped around.
His karate is skilled. And question is he actually like how far can he actually go?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
because
hey,
who?
it's actually good that he's back though. John Blachowicz will be an interesting fight for him, but as far as his rise, we'll just have to see how he can.
Very excited for this card. And I think for a Fight Pass show, this is pretty fucking good for the quality that you get on Fight Pass. And it's Russia
I mean,
versus
the
the
card.
world. I don't know why people expected any different.
They probably want bigger names more likely, but I do see what you're saying. The concept is there, but I guess nobody's interested in the names.
I don't know. I want to see Peter Yan. I think he already got one victory in the UFC. Now he gets to go to his home soil. That's gonna be huge. Alexei Konchenko, the M1 champion, coming over. Mairbek Tasimov, the dude that's having visa issues but just wants to KO people, 5 KOs in a row.
Right.
He's got one of the one of the only black men going over to Moscow. Apparently, he didn't get
Yeah.
the Black Beast's memo about the warning.
Yeah. Are you talking about Desmond Green?
Yeah, Desmond Green and Tyrion Ware, I guess too.
Well,
But he's a British guy, isn't he? No.
right.
Wait, say
Well,
again.
they only took that fight because they were in a situation where they needed to take just any fight, and that fight was offered to them, and since they couldn't say no, they had to take it. But unfortunately, it's not going to end well for them.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
In
I
Russia, it usually doesn't end well.
don't be surprised to see some late minute pullouts too, and that might really f shit up because getting a last minute visa and shit. A bantamweight taking on Peter Young 9-1. Holy fuck!
Who the fuck is that?
I don't know. And then yeah, Nikita Krylov 25-5. Let's look up these guys. First off, this bantamweight Brazilian Douglas De Andrade de Silva 25-2. A good old Russian versus the Brazilian. I like that matchup.
Why not? I tell you what, I think he has a better chance than Thiago Alves. I think Alves will probably die out there.
This guy was 21-0. He came into the UFC and he lost his first fight. He probably pulled some short notice shit. Wins 2, loses to Rob Font, beats Marlon Vera in his last fight. Okay.
Okay, you said 10 total Russians on the
Yeah,
card?
let's say that they end up with 10 total. I think they're at like 8 or 9 right now.
Okay, so because Russia likes to fix things, and they usually like to be devious instead of obvious with it, I'm gonna say they're gonna give Russians. I'm gonna say they're gonna let seven.
Nikita.
You have to let one or two of them. Yeah, let one or two Russians fall to the sword so it doesn't look too obvious. So maybe go 6 or 7. They're gonna try to be modest in their own way.
what what are the odds that Alexei Olenek gets an Ezekiel choke? It's gotta be, I don't know, only like plus 200 or something. The odds are way up there.
Oh,
Okay,
you know
okay,
he's
wait,
gonna
wait. I'll
pull it.
switch the
That's
question. Is there a better
okay.
chance of Mark Hunt getting Ezekiel choked or Alexei Olenek getting KO'd? Who's got the better chance here?
Um, Olenek's chin hasn't been tested too much, has it? I don't think it has.
No, in his last fight, he quote unquote lost to Curtis Blades or something, but that was some weird shit. There's some weirdness going on in that one.
You know what? You know what? Let's see. I think he survives, and they somehow end up on the ground, and I think Mark Hunt ends up getting choked by accident. Almost like he anticipated it, but then in the heat of the moment, he didn't think about it, and he just got caught
Mm-hmm.
in a bad position. So I think the chances of him getting Ezekiel choked are higher than Olenek getting knocked out.
If Mark can come in, I don't know, light on his toes and in shape, we'll see what happens. I've seen some of his podcasts lately. Those are kind of interesting. Him and Robert Whitaker are
Oh
online.
yeah, those are actually yeah. I just learned about that maybe a day or two ago.
Yes,
I
shout
haven't
outs to
listened to too much of them
Grudge.
though.
Some dude named Grudge. He's got a YouTube channel. Was putting those out.
Shit.
There's a Ezekiel, a Neck Crank, and Ezekiel. He lost a decision to Daniel Omalenchik or whatever. That sure fucked up him, man. This guy could almost had a title shot, which is crazy. But that's the UFC's heavyweight division.
You're not kidding, man.
He
You
beat
can
up
literally
the
go from having. Oh, go ahead.
he beat up the diaper dude though, Junior Albini. All right, go for it, Jay.
No, I was just saying that you can easily go from a contender to a bum in one fight. That's what happened to Francis. He decided not to fight Derek Lewis, and now everybody calls him a piece of shit. That's what happened. That's what happened.
Chris Wade about ready to get started. Round number 1. He seems to have a lot of fans
Yeah.
here. 5 minutes.
Oh.
Oh! Flying kick misses, but the other knee kind of lands. He's in on the takedown. Good sprawl there. Tries to lock up a neck.
What?
They're rolling around like a couple of snakes. This guy's going to get choked here.
Uh-oh.
Looks like it's
He's
getting
gonna get
tight.
choked out? Or
It's getting
tight?
tighter.
Oh shit, I just saw
Getting
it.
tighter. He's turning into it.
The tap? The
Nope,
tap?
nope. The guy's got good defense so far. I think he needs to wrap up the leg. He's transitioning it. Not sure what.
You mean I get it. Trying to get it though.
Oh, this guy's gonna. I can't tell if he's gonna go out. We might see a flopper. A fish out of the water.
Uh
Oh, this guy's still fighting. Who are we watching here? Chris Wade versus Yuki Kawana. Ken, help me out with the pronunciation there. You guys are talking about Nick Diaz in the chat, I think. Shouts, Nick. Come back, brother.
Yes. Hey, it's hard to come back from beating up a woman, but I guess if Greg Hardy could do it, he could do it too.
Mm-hmm. Man, he's still playing around with this guy's neck. He's into side control now with it.
Oh man.
Wade's corner trying to give advice. Yuki.
I mean, goodness, not too much he can
Yunzing
do.
gets back up to his feet. Holy smokes.
How do you let him back up after that?
Well,
That's not
Ken,
good.
my
He
white
had him.
ass is saying Yuki Kawana. That, if that gives you anything. The Diaz Bros are giving the UFC blue balls. Oh my gosh. All the stars lately, dude. Ever since we saw that $4 billion number, all the champions held out for some money. UFC started paying a little bit more, but it didn't open up the pocketbooks like the fighters want, and so that's where we are now.
How about that?
Fucking crazy shit.
Crazy shit.
I don't know, and Jay, I feel like the UFC keeps them so broke that as soon as they become champ and they get a payday, most of these guys have been fighting injured and fucked up for so long, they're like, all right, now I'm finally going to rest up and heal, and then they get a surgery or something, so then they never come back for like 6 to 9 months is usually the first title defense. It's a long-ass time, usually. And then they always wonder, like, why are you taking so long to come back? And it's like, dude, you've been starving us, and we've been injured as fuck. We can't even afford it until we become champ. Like RDA did it, where Doom did it, Covington did it. You can just think of guy after guy after guy that didn't get surgery until they became champion.
You're not kidding, man. It's funny because Cain Velasquez is one champion I thought of because as soon as he became champ, his body was breaking down on him, almost like it was the beginning of the end. And GDR Jermaine Durandamy faked a hand surgery as soon as she won her belt. And she said, "You know what? Take this belt. I'm done. I'm not coming back." Ever since then, she just refused to fight anybody. Because she might have been fighting injured up until that fight with Holly. Then when she won the belt, she's like, "You know what? I'm done. Fuck this. I don't need you guys anymore." So it's possible.
She's on my top 5 for worst champions of all time.
I don't even know if you can call her a champion. Like the way, because the way she won
tap!
it.
Chris Wade gets the tap.
It's all over.
Only 30 seconds left in the fight. Chris Wade comes away with 6 points in the PFL. Dude, this guy had no points coming in here. Might have just made his way into the playoffs.
Probably did steal a spot. I'd be surprised if he did, because man, that's what you have to go for right there.
This changes everything, dude. This is awesome.
It does.
I love PFL. This guy went here in New York. He trains in New York or something. Might be from that state. Got a huge hometown showing. Chokes out Yuki Kawana. He's 14-2-5. So all 5 of those draws could be losses. You never know in Japan.
You're right about that. I gotta say though, with PFL, the point system really makes everybody a lot more hungry in terms of the action because they all gotta fight for something.
Yes.
And it's good shit, man. Like a finish like that is a prime example.
Yeah.
Like just one finish alone, and he could have stole the whole thing.
Speaking of hungry, he comes out with the flying kick, which misses right past his face, and the knee kind of hits him though as he shoots for the takedown. And then he was in on that neck for so many minutes of the round. I guess his neck's gonna hurt tomorrow.
Oh, no doubt about that. Not only is his neck gonna hurt, it's gonna hurt to talk. It's gonna hurt to see. Everything about his head is just gonna hurt tomorrow.
Dude,
it's gonna suck.
What a highlight! It's like, Chris, okay, you lost last one. You're gonna have to get in a first round finish to get into the playoffs. That would be your best chance, man. He's like, I know. It's like, all right, what's your game plan? What are you gonna do? I was thinking flying kick. Who did that against Doom or something?
Oh man.
Or Doom did it to Travis Brown, or
Yeah,
What the hell
Travis
happened?
Brown. Yeah, he did it to Travis Brown. That was mentioned. I remember that.
He became a legend just by being a heavyweight and trying something like that. Okay, so what were we just talking about? PFL. Let's see if we can get to their ranking system. Chris Wade had 0 points total. Rules standings. Here we go. We need the lightweights. Oh, there it is. All right. Yeah, he's headed to the playoffs. They just said it. Islam Magomov has got 6. Robert Watley 5. Brian Foster 4. Will Brooks 3. Nathan Schulte, who's the main event, got 3. Yuki Kawana was ranked 6 with 0 points. He now goes 0-2 in PFL. And brother, I think you're going to be back next season. Maybe you'll be a fill-in. Who knows? But Jason High fighting the main event has 0. Ramsey Nijum, UFC veteran, has 0.
Jason High is probably going to come out hungry in the fight because he doesn't have any points, and he's literally taking over Brian Foster's spot. And Foster's going to lose out on this. So it's pretty costly to get hurt and shit like that.
Oh, yeah. Boss Root in the octagon for the interview here. Dan Spoon only gets 3 points tonight. Thiago Tavares walks away with 3 points in the split decision. And Chris Wade gets 6 in the first round victory. I'm glad that we got a first round finish. Give us some excitement for the night, Jay.
How about it? I mean, hey, we only have, 3 prelims, so at least we got something.
Hell yes. Okay.
Even though that first fight was trash, but at least we got a neck crank here.
Yo, if I'm the production team, we got basically 30 minutes to kill. So you could fit about 20 minutes of broadcast time or so. They should replay the Brandon Halsey. What's the guy's name that he fought? Let me look this up. His last fight from PFL. Fight of the night. Oh. Smiolino Rama. I think this guy was a Canadian or something like that. And he took him out with that eye injury. That fight was amazing. That could be 10 minutes. Jay, you think they'd be pissed if we played it?
Honestly, they should be happy that we're giving them free promotion at this point. So if they get mad, they're down.
Well, if I played it...
They should be thankful for this.
No, we'll just have to talk about some topics and some bullshit. Are you guys ever suffer from severe dehydration? Not really, no.
Nah.
The worst I get dehydrated is like hiking while I'm backpacking. And that's nothing. I always stay hydrated.
Yeah, I was going to say...
Oh shit, here comes Eve Edwards. He's showing you what's up on the board. Dude, they just did a shot of him from behind getting way into it on that screen before they gave us the screenshot. That was dope.
Oh, wow.
Look at how much of a nerd this guy is for MMA.
Generally embrace the concept of it, but they were in Philadelphia. The officials were last week, and the Eagles came out confused as to exactly what was legal and what was illegal. Well,
Yo, Nikita got Von Flue choked by OSP though.
Oh shit, did he?
OSP sneaky good with that shit. Oh yeah, it was back in 2014.
It seems like such an easy choke to get out of, but like for some reason with him, a lot of people don't like. They just tap immediately. I don't get it. He's super talented with it. I don't know why, but like it's an easy trick to get out of. But for some reason, he's always able to catch somebody.
Right. It's crazy. Like we're to the point where we're thinking about renaming the choke to the Von
How about
Prue
that?
or whatever, the Von Prue choke.
Plus, Jason Von Flew was terrible anyway.
This is what I've
Technically,
heard. I actually never watched back then, so I don't even
he's
know the guy.
garbage. If you look him up, if you look up Jason Von Flew, you'll see that he's garbage. He's pure garbage.
Damn.
Even though he had a choke named after him. So I mean that's just like Kimura, like the real like Kimura I think from like Japan or somewhere in Asia. He's
Mhm.
garbage, but he invented the Kimura lock, so it's weird.
Mhm. Well, I think in catch wrestling and shit, they got different names for this, like double wrist lock or something.
Right. It's like double wrist lock, key lock, not armbar. Not armbar, but there's like another name for it I can't think of at the moment. But I know what you're talking what you're talking about.
Yeah. Dude, so Nikita Krylov was 5 victories in a row. They booked him up against Misha Serkinov, who's like another European guy. And then he loses, they cut him. He went 4-0, 3-0 in Fight Nights Global, and now they brought him back, and they've got him against one of the number 1 contenders in the division in Jan Blachowicz, who has...
I'm sorry, it's Americana. Thank you, Steve Johnson. That was the name I was thinking of, Americana.
Oh, okay, nice.
And Steve Sparks asked a good question. The question is, why does anyone still try to guillotine OSP? Foolish fools.
Dan from Bill's house. Did you talk about Covington at the White House? We did earlier in
Yeah,
the stream.
we did. We thought it was funny. And it was a good play by Covington because he trolled everybody with it after the fact.
Right. Dude, he's going full chill.
Yeah.
He's not going to give up the belt. He's going to call himself champion the whole time. He's got a picture with Trump. If they take away his belt, he'll get a picture of Trump framed with him with the belt and carry that around with him probably. Which would
More
be
likely.
hilarious.
The only thing that would make this even better is if Trump somehow showed up to his fight, even though that would never happen.
Which card was Trump rumored to show up to? Was it a New York one, or which one was it?
I want to say New York, but I could be wrong there, but I believe it was New York.
Because he never showed at that point.
Right. But like now that he has a picture with Covington, it would be crazy if he showed up there and Covington was fighting, say, Tyron Woodley or Darren Till for the championship. That would be some crazy shit. If he just like showed up like right before the main event started, Donald Trump just walks out and just smiling and waving and takes his seat right before the music, like right before the walkouts even play. That would be some insane shit.
Could they have enough security for something like that?
You could never have enough security. They could probably call in the National Guard for him. Fuck it, they'll all show up.
So Jan is like 22-7, but his fight, he's got 3 in a row. Devin Clark, Jared Cannonier, and Jimmy Manawa, and 3 in a row is a lot in the 205-pound division.
Sure
Sadly
is.
to say.
Exactly. Sad as hell, but it is the truth. You can win 3 fights and everything's good.
Oh, you should go full rematch mode though, because he fought Jimmy Manawa and lost, and then now we just beat him. He lost to Corey Anderson, lost to Alexander Gustafsson, and then somehow lost to Pat Cummins.
Damn. It's not bad.
We'll see what he can do. But anyways, what the hell were we talking about?
Covington and yeah, Covington at the White House. He's gonna fight Till, but then again, that might not even be a title fight because Till probably won't make weight. Imagine if Till didn't make weight, and then it would have to be a non-title fight. Oh, that would really throw some gasoline out of the fire.
Wait, so who doesn't make weight? Till don't make weight, and it's a non-title.
Yeah, right. And then let's say the winner would have to fight Colby Covington, because like if Tyrone loses, technically he just lost. Well, technically he just lost to Till, and he wouldn't be considered the real champion anymore.
Mm-hmm. That'd be crazy. I wonder what's going on.
That's weird.
Hold on, you know what? I need to build my computer up real quick. She seems to be getting a little hot.
It's weird. It says you're live. Okay, hold on. You're live now.
What up, everyone? Welcome to PFL and Chill. I'm Dan. That's Jay.
What's up?
We're the best duo since white men can't jump.
Oh, shit.
Wesley and Woody making a good combo. The WW. That's pretty crazy. Just an odd observation.
It's like Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta on Pulp Fiction. It's like that kind of shit.
Oh my gosh. Plus you got Bruce Willis up in there. But Samuel L. Jackson his character is one of the best.
Absolutely.
What happened?
I love that.
I shot Marvin in the face. What do you mean? Oh shit, what was I doing? Someone throwed up a tweet of the two different superpowers, and it was Donald Trump and here it is. John Liddell 1982 posted it.
Oh shit.
And check this out. Colby and Trump and Putin and Connor with the presidents of Russia and the United States. I would say Colby's Q rating is up there pretty high.
I'll tell you what, man. You know what? If Colby keeps this up, he'll probably be one of maybe two Americans to go over to Russia and have diplomatic immunity. I would say Jeff Monson, but they double-crossed him, technically.
What? I didn't know
he
he got
never heard
double-crossed. I remember he was a dual citizen or something, or gave up his citizenship for there.
So let me tell you the story, and actually you can Google this too, just to make sure I have the story right. But basically, he was going to participate in it was described to him as like an exhibition match. It was supposed to be some sort of charity thing for like some sort of dictator or something. And he took part in the fight, and what he didn't realize is basically it was agreed before the fight that him and the guy were just going to kind of grapple and have a bit of a sparring contest. They weren't going to try to kill each other. Mm-hmm. And as soon as the bell rang, the guy charged Jeff Monson, and Jeff was confused because he thought this was going to be a like friendly sparring fight, but instead he was brutally knocked out, and he was double crossed right there in the ring. True story.
What the hell? The old Russian double cross, huh?
And the weird thing is, he developed some sort of Stockholm syndrome because he became a Russian citizen like years after that happened. I'm like, why would you do that? Like, it's almost like they brainwashed him. It was weird. They double crossed him in real life, and then he ends up joining them. It's the weirdest shit ever.
Here's something in 2015. Mixed fight combat. 50-second round 1 KO. The guy who beat him was
Yes,
Donald Najane.
that sounds. It might be him. If
Or
not, I
was
think
it
there's like.
farther back? Let's look for other KOs. There's a round 5 KO.
Oh, Flat
Dimitri.
Earth Deacon says it's true. I heard that too. Okay, so he knows what I'm talking about.
Okay. I did
So
remember
this story
that whole
definitely did happen for real.
I saw the citizenship thing. That became news. That
Right.
made it across my Twitter sphere.
But this was like years before he got his citizenship. This was the weird part. That's why when he got it, I remember thinking to myself, what the fuck? Like they double cross you and then you go ahead and join them? That's some Kevin Durant shit right there.
Now, you know what? If this is the right event, they double crossed him on Christmas, 2015.
Yes. I believe that's it.
It says champion
That might
versus
be it. Because
champion.
it was some sort of.
Was it a black dude with dreads?
I'm not sure who it was exactly. That's the only thing. I just remember he was double. Well, actually, wait. I remember. Fuck. I forgot the guy's name, but it might have been him. Wait, what's his name again? You tell me his name. It might sound familiar.
Donald I can't even attempt this shit, dude. It's crazy.
Oh man, that actually might be it because I remember it's one of those quick finishes he has on his record. If it's not that one, it's probably the second fastest one on his record. But I do remember he was brutally knocked out in quick fashion. So that might be the fight you're talking about, or they're talking about.
Okay, so Steven Seagal, our man who I believe married a Japanese woman or something close to that, and yet is a dual citizen of Russia who on multiple occasions has been out there kind of what you might call campaigning for President Putin, saying that, you know, it would be great for the U.S. and Russia to have good relations. And he's kind of been fighting for that. I've seen that shit. So, fat old Steven Seagal is out there doing some shit like that. Have you seen this, Jay Smoothe?
I didn't know about
Get
this.
double crossed?
That's a good question, and you know what? Out of all the people that deserve to be double crossed, it's him. But you know what? He probably got in bed with the right people. That's probably why it didn't happen. Probably why.
I guess so, man. He's got the right contacts, Hollywood contacts and whatnot. Is PFL amateurs?
I love how we
Isaiah Moore.
They might as well be.
Oh shit, your stream's a little laggy. It's probably me. What am I trying to do over here? Well, I should probably end my quest on YouTube. That's gonna kill the stream. Well, shit. 20 minutes to go, Jay Smoothe. What you got? What you want to talk about?
20 minutes? Okay, you know what? Let's just get into it. 227. Let's just run through it real fast. Give some last minute picks out there.
Oh, and I've seen this question in the chat earlier. Are you doing a stream for the press conference, Dan and Jay? Jay is busy, so I will be there for the press conference.
I will be in the chat keeping up, but I probably will be out and about during that time.
Fantastic. That's the update there for you. Moving on to UFC 227 preview.
However, I will be here for the prelim Saturday. For those wondering, I will be here for that.
Yes. Awesome. And I forget what else is coming up on Friday. I'm not sure if there's anything or not.
There might be LFA, but I don't know. I have to look. Actually, let me look into that right now. Go ahead, though.
Okay, so Santos versus Holland. Starting off the pay-per-view. The two guys I'm dying to see that I've never heard of, basically, is what you could say here. What the
Yeah,
hell,
I
Jay
agree with
Smoot?
that.
I need you to pay $65 for this. And we're going to give you a guy who like came off the Contender Series or something. He's got a black and white photo.
Oh, boy.
And then to match that up, you got Pollyanna Vienna versus JJ Aldridge, who, if I told you that was the Fight Pass main event, you wouldn't doubt me at all. You wouldn't doubt me. What the fuck? This is a 3-fight pay-per-view,
like
man. This is a 3-fight pay-per-view. You got Swanson and Hanato Morikano. That's your first real fight.
So hold on. How many fights are in the prelims? Like in the Fight Pass prelims?
We got 3 on the Fight Pass prelims.
3 there, and then how many on the pay-per-view?
5 on the pay-per-view, 4 on the FX in the middle.
So basically, so 2 of the fights on the main card are going to be like bathroom breaks, smoke breaks, probably go get some munchie breaks or something. And then you have, well, technically, I count DJ versus Cejudo as one of those fights you can kind of skip because we already know what's going to happen. Cejudo got mauled in the first fight. It wasn't close. DJ would just have his way with him again. I think, anyway.
Yo, Jay Smooth, your connection's horrible. Why don't call back real quick? Hang up and call back. We'll see if we can get this
All right.
lurking a little better.
All right, I got you.
Stream Pirates should charge $5 fee. More people watching it illegal. I wore the same adult long t-shirt when I was a kid till like 20-something, Kenshiro. All right, we got Jay back. Let's see how good the connection is.
All right, are you good? I can still see and hear on my end.
I can hear you. We can now see you. The audio sucks a little bit, but we'll power through it. Who cares?
Does it? Is it really bad? Or
Oh, no.
can you
It's
hear me well?
actually getting much, much better. I can hear you great now.
Okay, okay. All right.
All
All right,
right,
so what's
so
up?
you're talking about Cejudo and Johnson. We know what's going to happen here. We saw the demolition that had happened. And, dude, this is crazy. This shit is crazy. They've been doing this on the FS1 cards, and I get it. They've been doing it on the Fight Pass exclusive cards, and I get it. But look at the first 9 fights on this card don't belong anywhere near a UFC pay-per-view. Really, to be honest, an FS1 or even an FX. I'm a fucking hardcore, and I hardly know these guys. Brett Johns, I only know him because he's the Pikey.
The fact that people would have to pay money for this is a slap in the face. It should be on TV. No excuses.
Yo, you could
It's not even
get
worth FS1.
2 million people watching it on free TV. Instead, we're going to get 200,000 watching it, hopefully, on pay-per-view. Best case scenario. But that doesn't include the legal streams. But if you just did those numbers, 2 million versus 200,000, how the hell do you grow your stars in your sport like that, man? I just don't get it.
Peace, justice. But, yeah, I agree with you, man. I don't understand the marketing strategy behind this. They probably just said, fuck it. They just said, let's just throw these, lower weight fighters on a card and put it in Los Angeles, maybe we'll get a respectable turnout for it. But nope, they're not even going to get that.
God damn. It's looking bad, dude. Okay, let you bring up turnout. Great topic. I'm going to click on tickets here. We're going to jump into the stadium, see what's available. Wait, where do I click tickets. What the fuck? Alright, the site is glitching at this moment. That's weird. Reload. What are they talking about in the chat? PayPal. Gambling? Gambling. How is gambling changed shit in Baltimore, Jay?
Well, for one thing, sports gambling is now legal in the United States. So, on the East Coast, everybody's taking advantage. Like Delaware is now taking sports bets, and New Jersey is working on doing it if they haven't already. For some reason, Maryland decides, you know what, we're going to wait a little bit. Like, they're going to wait for other states to profit first, and then they're going to jump on it, which is stupid. So if I wanted to place a bet on, say, a UFC fight this weekend, I would have to go out of state to do it if I didn't do it online.
Okay.
So yeah, as far as betting goes, it's easy because it's easier to do it. At least sports betting, that is, it's going to be a booming industry now that it's legal in the United States. It'd be crazy now. I don't know if we're going to see more things getting fixed because of it, but it's certainly going to raise a few eyebrows and raise a few red flags here and there.
David Flores, what up, motherfucker?
What's going on, Flores? What up?
He came in like a bird, motherfucker. Okay, so ticket sales, UFC 227. Cheapest ticket is $60. That's respectable for a pay-per-view. Getting in the door, that's really cheap. Yeah. You're not a bot, right? Only humans are allowed beyond this point.
Oh, by the way, speaking of, I just thought of this. Speaking of sports betting, you know that one Korean fighter, I think his name is Tae Hang Bang. I think he's in prison right now for trying to throw a fight in UFC Korea. I think like 2-3 years ago.
Yes, I remember that. Who threw him in jail though? The Koreans did?
I believe the Koreans did do it. The UFC, okay, so how it happened was, it's weird because technically he didn't go through with the dive because he won the fight by decision, but because he basically took money, was supposed to go out and do the dive and do it. He reneged. So even though he reneged, he still has to go in prison because he took money to take a dive that he decided not to take. So he's an idiot. But stuff like this is going to continue to happen, right? At some point.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, especially in little places like that.
Absolutely. People are going to start diving for fights soon. It's going to start happening. Maybe not now, but in the future it will.
There's definitely some tickets available here. But
hey,
I don't even need to show you that basically the whole third deck is completely shut down.
Right.
The second deck, I call it the end zones, are all shut down. The interior bowl is going to be completely sold out. So they're not going to pan up much higher than that. They're definitely, and it'll be all blacked out with curtains and shit. But this is how they get away with it. They quote unquote reconfigure it to make it smaller so they can call it a sellout later. But really they just never opened up all this other shit because the fucking UFC is boring and there's nothing to get excited about.
How about that, man?
They get range of seating is fucked up too. Hopefully they don't tarp off any empty sections, because that would be retarded.
The cheapest one you can get is $100, not 60. I don't know what they were talking about.
It's $100. Fuck that.
Yeah,
Is
why
that
not?
correct?
Why not charge
Not worth-
$20 for all of this top row just to fill it? And then 40
That's
row.
what I mean, man. That's a slap in the face. To fans, that's a slap in the face.
Do 40 for the nosebleeds. Fill in the second row for freaking 60 or 80 or whatever. I don't know. These guys are idiots, man. You know what? It's just they've killed the sport, and the fans are dwindling, and their only way to recover the money is to charge everyone who's still a fan $5 more because they know we'll pay it, or they hoped everyone wouldn't jump to streaming, and they gouge everyone on tickets because they know that us hardcores really want to go, even though they can't fill out the stadium because there's not enough real fans. These fucking stupid fucks.
Yeah, they Jewed it up on purpose. It's retarded.
Man. This shit irritates me. J Smooth, these are potential junkies that we could get hooked. Every one of these seats that isn't get sold or given away for $20, $40. It's goddamn ridiculous. Dude, you sell a $20 ticket, you know people are spending $30, $40 on food and drinks because you gouge the fuck out of them on prices.
It's funny, like, it's weird that they keep getting away with it, too, because they seem to do that everywhere.
Well,
and
now...
on purpose, too.
Now they're like, all right, we got to go to all those little areas that we haven't gone to in the U.S. The Boise's, the Monktons, the... wherever the hell they were.
Been to Maryland. They haven't been to Maryland since John Jones fought Glover Teixeira in the main event. I forgot what UFC that was. That was the last time they've been here. So they haven't been here since then.
Well, now that they figured out...
Right, you just started going.
They figure out that they're having a lot of trouble packing in these these arenas. They're like, they could fill out basketball arenas, right? And now they're figuring out, nope, you need to go like hockey style, go even smaller than that. Because, man, I like
style or
on
go
TV.
to some like Rick Space. Oh yeah, I agree with that.
And you're losing a lot of money just on costs for the building and shit. But what the hell else we got? Oh, I could close the UFC. The Pikey, Brett Johns, is taking on Munoz. That's your FS1 main event. This might be something that we get the chance to do a reaction for, J Smooth. If I was Moss and JBH, I would not start the stream early. I would only hop on for the pay-per-view.
If they decide to do that, then yeah, because other than that, it seems like we have a short night, actually.
Yeah, we'll see.
Actually, no, we don't, because you know, with all the pacing, they're going to make the 3 fights seem like they're going to stretch it out as long as they can for some reason.
They already got it clocked in for an hour and a half right here.
Dang.
We'll definitely have some filler time to roll with.
Oh, boy.
But who was it? Okay, Brett Johns versus who? Pedro Munoz?
Yeah.
Is Pedro the man I saw live in Glendale? He's from Brazil. Yeah, because he came in town and beat up the Mexican. I can almost swear that's what had happened. What are you watching on TV, J Smooth?
I'm about to flip it over to PFL, actually, because it's going to start in like 4 minutes.
Oh, snap.
Now that you just mentioned it.
I'll tell you, those guys were great guys. It was probably the most fun I had in pro football is being around.
Conchiros, sometimes you sit at $20 tables, leave with 480 after 8 hours. You're a gambling maniac. Lance Palmer won. What? Last week, he sure did.
Oh
or whatever
wow.
the last card was.
Oh man.
What did they do? Lance Palmer is a 145er. Is that correct? Andre
I
Harris is
thought
a
he was
145er.
135 or
I
145.
think they're
Is one of the two.
145s because the 155ers are fighting today. Yeah, so they're
Right.
featherweights. All right, Pedro Munoz. This is according to UFC. Those bastards. He lost to John Dodson in his last outing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I just flipped it over to NBCSN. They're showing a replay of the last PFL right now.
What? Mine says coverage will
Yeah.
begin shortly.
I think that's because you're still on the app, aren't you? Or on the Fire
Yeah.
Sticker.
Why
Yeah, that's
should
why.
they? Oh shit. All right. I'll be right back, Jay. Never mind.
They're about to start the actual PFL in like 3 minutes.
Hell yes. All right, Jay. Well, what do you got to say about 227 before we get the hell out of here?
As far as two rematches, because those are the two fights that I think everybody's looking forward to. Them. Well, not looking forward to, but I guess probably going to watch the most out of any of the fight on this card. DJ's going to run over Cejudo, I think, and I would like TJ to beat Cody. I'm going TJ. I know it's not a popular pick, but I would like for TJ to retain against Cody. Even though it's still a very close fight. And it's still a very good fight. It's not a fight to sleep on. They both gave each other hell in the first one. So the second one is going to be a toss-up, but I would like Cody to win.
Cody's skills have been improving. We'll see what happens when he comes in with without his back hurt. That's going to be awesome. And so I like that. TJ's going to be great in that one, though. I got him picked as well.
True shit. I think it'll be a good fight either way, but I can understand why people would pick Cody, but I think TJ is too hungry and determined to stay champion. So, and Cody is still a show off, even in moments when he doesn't have to be, and he's very emotional. He's disciplined, but he's too emotional. And I think TJ will capitalize off that once again because clearly their rivalry isn't over yet.
Not at all. Whatever happens, I don't want to see a rubber match right away. Let the division move on. So it would be nice kind of for TJ to win there. And then with the demolishing that DJ gave Henry Cejudo last time, I've seen improvements in Henry. He's looked great, especially versus a lot of people thought Henry Cejudo's pretty good, but DJ, I think he's good everywhere. He's ambidextrous. He can hit you with both sides and away with the finish at some point. Maybe not as early, but I think he finishes him.
Sure.
Well, Jay Smooth, I think it's time to get the hell out of here, brother. We'll be back for press conference reaction for the UFC. I don't know what they're calling that press conference yet, but I'll be live for that shit too. Jay Smooth will jump on in the chat. Jay, last words?
See you motherfuckers later. Enjoy the fights tonight. Enjoy the fights on Saturday. And make sure you sub because we'll be right back at it again soon.
Yeah, sub, hit the alert button, and smash the like button. Until next time, like always, back to you sickos. We're out of here.
Peace.